That is a flat-out lie.
Ever.
We could just ask the next schmuck who walks through. Hey, sir, hi.
I really don't care. As long as I get a good cameo. Call my agent.
Savvy.
I'm Stan Lee. I've been writing stories for the young generation for the past 30 years. During this time, I think I've learned a lot about what young people think. More importantly, I think I've learned a lot about what young people are. We're going to try to present a voice that somebody will listen to. The voice is needed. We hope it will be ours.
Excelsior! Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Stanley. Stan was doing one of his panels, and they asked me to come up and just say hi to him. Felt a little goofy, but I came up, I shook his hand. I think the microphone caught it, but I whispered in his ear. I said, hey, they just wanted me to come up here and shake your hand, but while I'm up here, I want to say thank you. You saved my life. Because the life that I have today, there's a direct line to that first comic book to here.
Well, Stan's best creation was always Stan. As a creative figure is one thing. Stan, as a personality, was able to somehow tap into his own larger-than-life, self-effacing and self-aggrandizing at the same time personality.
As I would describe it, that P.T. Barnum aspect of him, it's just something he infused the group with, and it's something that the people who followed him have been able to kind of keep that energy going.
I think Stan Lee is going to be an icon, what he represents, what he was able to accomplish. He built American mythology because stories are really what stay with us.
Those characters that he created and what he infused Marvel, the brand, with have always shown through.
Even if they have superpower, they have to be believable. What they do has to be what any normal person would do in those situations.
And the idea that he championed all kinds of different voices, all kinds of points of view, and the concept of diversity and equality and conversations about, social politics, all these things he had been doing for years. And now it's at the forefront of everything that we talk about.
I just think he was just connected in that way, and he was connected to who his true audience was and who he was really writing for.
He complemented that with always being hopeful, with his own first-person personality of being Stan.
My earliest memories of Stan were reading those soapboxes. You felt like he was talking directly to you and no one else. What I didn't realize was that there was a kid behind me at the candy store reading the same thing, feeling the exact same way.
His ideology was very clear. It was very black and white, how to be good, how to treat people equally. And that's a really powerful impact, to lean into the light as much as you can, even if there's darkness all around you.
In writing the soapboxes, I used to just talk to the readers, anything that came to my mind, just to make the books not seem like something cold and aloof and something you buy and you throw away. I wanted them to feel buying a Marvel book was like visiting an old friend.
Without that, we wouldn't be experiencing the success we had today.
People like that, creative geniuses like that, you can't help but walk away learning lessons. They have a way of delivering messages that just resonate with those of us who have followed his work and followed the characters he's created.
He made it feel intimate and that anybody could belong to it. We're really lucky to have him really define us, because it's really given us something to move forward with.
Welcome back, everyone. Marvel has a bunch of big movies and series coming up in 2023, and they just announced a special Stan Lee documentary, which seems like something they should have done a long time ago. So we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, I'll be doing videos for all of it, just like I do for the other big Marvel movies and Disney Plus episodes. The first real big one coming up in 2023 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania with Kang the Conqueror. That's going to be the beginning of Marvel Phase 5. We'll get a new trailer for that really soon. The first big Marvel Disney Plus series in 2023 will be the Secret Invasion episodes. That starts in March, and it's going to set up a much larger Marvel Phase 5 plot with the evil Skrulls that'll culminate in Captain America 4 New World Order in the Thunderbolts movie, with a very Dark Reign vibe just in general. It's part of the reason why they recast the Thunderbolt Ross character after William Hurt passed away with Harrison Ford, like why Harrison Ford would even bother showing up in a Marvel movie. They literally and metaphorically have big plans, big Red Hulk plans for Thunderbolt Ross, but they're also going to make him the President of the United States by the events of Captain America 4. Thanks to what happens during Secret Invasion, if you've read the Dark Reign arc in the comics, and because of what Val has been doing behind the scenes. They kind of tease that during her scenes in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She's the new director of the CIA and wields way more power and authority than she did back during Falcon and Winter Soldier. The Stan Lee documentary is part of the cool documentary content that they started doing more of, like bigger versions of the Marvel Assembled episodes that go behind the scenes of all the Marvel movies in the Disney Plus series. It'll cover his entire life, how he started out as this lowly writer for a small publishing company that nobody really thought too much about, Timely Comics, and how it turned it into the powerhouse that Marvel company you see today. There have actually been a couple Easter eggs for the beginning of Marvel Comics, like way back in the early days in the She-Hulk series, and again during Loki Season 2. We haven't got the Loki Season 2 episodes yet, but I spotted some cool references and Easter eggs in the background of some of the footage for the episodes. During the She-Hulk episode, she winds up getting hired by the law firm GLK&H. The full name of the law firm is Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, the founding members of what became Marvel. Martin Goodman was the original owner of Timely Comics who hired a young Stanley Lieber, Stan Lee's original birth name. He changed it along with other comic book artist Kurtzberg, who is also part of the title there, which is the real name of Jack Kirby, named Jack Kurtzberg. The law firm was already canonized by the comics, and they just turned it into a live-action MCU Easter egg after the fact. The other funny connection to all of his famous Stan Lee cameos is his very first ever cameo. It was during the original 1970s Incredible Hulk TV series. They later parodied the intro from that 1970s Incredible Hulk series during the She-Hulk finale, but this is the very first Stan Lee cameo ever.
Answer the question! David, you must answer the question!
The big Easter egg from the Loki Season 2 was for Timely Comics and Martin Goodman. So during one of the episodes, it takes place in the 1970s London. They go to the premiere of the Zaniac movie, who is a Marvel comic book character, who's like an actor who becomes the character that he's playing. It's like a movie within a movie kind of thing. And if you zoom and enhance on the movie poster credits here for all the other actors' names, the production crew members' names, the production company is listed as a Goodman Production. That's a huge Easter egg for the origin of the Marvel comic book company itself. Originally, the company was owned by Martin Goodman, who owned Timely Comics. That was the original name of Marvel Comics. He's the one who hired a young Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, all those classic era Marvel creatives that you know. Then later, the company changed its name a couple times, eventually changing it to Marvel Comics. They've used this type of Easter egg in Marvel Productions before. They used it during Moon Knight, too. When they're revealing the true origin of the Stephen Grant persona, that he was a character in a fictional movie called Tomb Busters, the production company of that movie on the poster was listed as Timely Atlas Productions. That was another Easter egg for Timely Comics. But what happened is it started out as Timely Comics, then in the 1950s they changed their name to Atlas Comics, then after that they changed their name to Marvel Comics. At the premiere, they have Easter eggs for a bunch of different real movies and fake in-universe movies, just because that's kind of a thing within Marvel now, is having movies within movies. Like you can see the Kingo's first movie is airing at this theater. My very favorite Stan Lee cameo scene is actually from the 90s Spider-Man the Animated Series, where he meets a real version of Stan Lee going to the Marvel Comics offices in the show. Madam Web, who also was a big character during the series and helped make that cameo possible, also is played by his real-life wife, Joan, who he references during his cameo scene, like, who was that woman? She actually did finally get a live-action cameo with him during X-Men Apocalypse. Everyone let me know what your favorite Stan Lee cameo scene is in the comments below, but there'll be a bunch more Marvel trailers coming really soon, like another major Secret Invasion trailer early this year. There's supposed to be another brand new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer after New Year's Eve, so whatever they wind up releasing, of course I'll do videos for it. There was another really cool Captain America 4 X-Men Wolverine Weapon X announcement a little while ago. I'll try to do a video for that later today, so that video should be up pretty soon. They just released another new one. You can click here to watch that, and click here for my new Loki Season 2 trailer video and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.